President Trump has long wanted to stage a massive military parade down the streets of Washington, D.C., and even though it looks like he will finally get his wish later today, he might not be happy with the day's events. Not only because his parade might be drowned out by poor weather, but also by the nearly 2,000 protests scheduled to take place across the country. And while Trump threatened people earlier this week who want to protest by saying they will be met with, quote, very heavy force, that threat could actually juice his turnout. So join us now to discuss is Representative Jamie Raskin of Maryland, who is the ranking Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman Raskin, thanks so much for being with us. We want to start out today by playing something that Pete Hegseth said today at a congressional hearing. Let's go with that.
Can you assure the American people on two things? You will respect any Supreme Court decision on this matter about whether the Marines are constitutional, and you will respect the district courts when they rule before the Supreme Court rules.
What I can say is we should not have local judges determining foreign policy or national security policy for the country.
So you're not willing to say you would respect those decisions?
What I'm saying is local district judges shouldn't make foreign policy for the United States.
That exchange happened on Thursday of this week. So, Congressman, when you have the Secretary of Defense saying that, yes, Marines might defy court orders, are we at a constitutional crisis?
Well, we clearly have too many DUI hires in the Trump administration, starting with Secretary Hegseth. But look, the Constitution says that the Constitution and federal law are supreme. We have a supreme Constitution. We don't have a supreme leader. We have no dictators here. We have no kings. We have no monarchs. This is civilian government, and there's a reason that Congress is in Article 1, and all legislative power is vested in the Congress, just like all judicial power is vested in the Supreme Court and in the inferior court. So what's the job of the president? To take care that the laws are faithfully executed. So let the message go out through the Trump administration. Your job is to faithfully execute the laws that have been adopted by the people in the House, in the Senate, and signed into law by the president.
Congressman, you know, President Trump this week, and we played the sound, we probably don't need to play it again, but you heard and you've seen it, that the people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force, heavy force, he said later. I guess I'm just curious what this is not new rhetoric, right? You've been paying attention to Donald Trump for a very long time, but does it feel like it's ratcheted up and that where the tensions are right now with everything we're watching, does it feel scarier?
Well, and this is a critical point because having the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, the right to petition government for redress of grievances, the right of the people to freely assemble is the very opposite of having a king, because kings brook no dissent. They don't tolerate people's free speech. So that's why in the last several weeks we've seen some remarkable things happen. We saw a state judge arrested in Wisconsin. Our colleague, Senator Padilla, was thrown to the ground with his arms behind his back and handcuffed. My colleague, LaMonica MacGyver from New Jersey, just received a criminal indictment and faces 17 years in prison because she went to a scheduled appointment at an ICE facility and then was in that scrum of people around the mayor of Newark as they decided to manhandle him. They sent the Marines to California, and they illegally tried to federalize the National Guard in California. But the remarkable thing about our constitutional system is how resilient all the other parts of the government are. And I'm proud of the governor of California, the mayor of Los Angeles, the sheriff, and the chief of police there who said, thanks, but no thanks. We don't need your help. You're just going to make things worse. And so far, we're winning in court there. There are now 184 federal preliminary injunctions or temporary restraining orders against this reign of lawlessness across the country. And today we're going to see a magnificent manifestation of the freedom of speech and what it means to have that in our society.
You know, Congressman, I would pick up on something because as you were running through the litany of public officials, elected officials who have been retaliated against by this administration, you talked about, you know, the scheduled appointment, and that made me think of all the immigrants we have seen be detained, removed, deported from hearings, appointments to be a part of the legal process, following the rules that they were told to follow, and getting snatched up by the immigration services. And I'm going to put up this headline from military.com from yesterday. ICE arrests Louisiana mother of a 9-week-old wife of Marine at immigration hearing. And this case highlights how the Trump administration's immigration crackdown is increasingly being driven by arrests at immigration check-ins and court hearings. If people are showing up at court, if people are showing up at immigration check-ins, they are following the rules. They are following the laws as set forth by the American government.
Yeah. Well, and this is unfortunately a standard practice now. We've been seeing this happen all over the country. That was the same occasion upon which the judge in Wisconsin was arrested as well. You know, to preview what I'm going to be talking about at the No Kings rallies today, I went through the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Particulars that was leveled against King George. And one of the very early things that the colonists were complaining about was the fact that the king was interfering with naturalization and people's ability to get into the country. And so there are some striking analogies between the things that the American revolutionaries said about King George and about what's going on today, like stationing troops in people's communities over the objections of the local officials.